Hello, welcome to Pro Mixing and Mastering. Today I'm going to teach you and show you how to mix silky, warm, professional vocals. So I'm going to be using an EQ to show you how to mix silky, warm, professional vocals. All right, here we are, and we are in Cubase 5. So I'm going to show you this technique, or this mixing style can be used in any DAW that you have. So I've got my vocal right here, and let's take a listen to it before I explain.
1 2 1 2 1 3 1 4 yeah. I'm counting my blessings. We're children of God. This is where wherever we go, we shine. We shine as children of God. They ask you where you get the blessings. They ask you why you look so fine, boy. They don't know that it's Jesus. They wonder how your life keeps on rising. They wonder how your life keeps on shining. Shining.
This is an excellent vocal. Everything's like working together. So what did I do to warm it up? And I'm gonna be muting the instrumental so you guys can really take a listen to what's really going on in the background. So we have reverb going on, we have compression going on. Check out the video that I did on the whole mix. And then we have now the main thing that is really making this vocal to stand out, and just to like have that silkiness and warmness to it, and that plugin is called an EQ. Now wait, let me show you how I did it.
We're children of God. This is where wherever we go, we shine. We shine as children of God.
So my main EQ, surgical EQ, is this one, FabFilter Pro Q3. As you can see, I've rolled off just a little tiny bit of that low end, and I have left out all this space. When you take listen to professional labels or recording labels or recording as professional recording studios, they actually don't cut off lows. Most of them really like boost it up from there, and I have more like used the same technique to show you guys how you can mix silky, warm, professional vocals, because this is the area where the warmth comes from, just around 20 hertz going all the way to 200 and 500. That's where the warmth is, and you've got to be careful with the way you cut the vocals or your vocals. So as you can see, I have done a little bit. Now I'm gonna exaggerate this by over cutting this so that we raw offsetting a lot of frequency, most of the frequency, so you guys can take a listen to how the vocal is gonna start sounding.
We're children of God. This is where wherever we go, we shine.
That warmth gets taken away, and that's not what you want, especially when you want a warm vocal. So let me take it back right there. Now this is the place that you have to cut, and this is the frequency that you have to cut just a little bit whenever you want to warm up the vocal.
We're children of God. This is where wherever we go, we shine.
And this frequency is 202. Just giving it -4 dB of that cut, just to remove, to like clean it up just a little bit. Then from there, jump all the way to 490.880 hertz. There is a reason to that. The reason is simple, because you want to like remove all the sharp tones from the vocal. So let me go ahead and just unmute the instrumental. This is the place that I'm talking about, this one right here. So we have started getting those sharp tones, and now what I'm gonna do is raise it up just a little bit, so you can like get a listen to this.
We're children of God. This is where wherever we go, we shine.
So that's the frequency that I had to cut cut down a little bit. I had to like cut it down so that the vocal can sound a little bit warmer, which is around -4.
We're children of God. This is wherever we go. We shall.
Now from here we have 761.27 hertz. Cut this frequency and your vocal is gonna start sounding better. Now let me show you. Let me do this. Take a listen to this frequency.
We're children of God.
You don't want that happening to your mix. So now to warm it up, you just have to drop it down all the way to -9.08 dB, and this is how it sounds like now.
We're children of God. This is wherever we go. We shine, shine.
Beautiful, right? Then next to 761, you have 1004.0 hertz, and this is the frequency that you have to cut down all the way to -7.54. This frequency right here.
We're children of God.
See, what you're doing is cutting, removing all unwanted frequency, cutting down all the high toned frequencies so that your vocal can remain warm and subtle, all right, and silky. So let's go ahead and just cut it down to -7.54, and your vocal is gonna sound like this.
We're children of God. This is wherever we go. We shine.
Now around 1456, this is supporting this one. There are certain frequencies which this one carries, and they can only be controlled from 1456. 1K to 2K is a little bit problematic, especially when it comes to high toned frequencies, high frequencies or sharp frequencies. So you just have to take your time and work around these areas that I'm showing you. So this is the frequency that we just worked on, 1456, and we cut around -8.15 dB. Now we have this frequency around 2K, and this is how the frequency sounds like. Raised up.
We're children.
So whenever you want warm, silky, professional vocals, make sure you cut this all the way to -7.76 dB, and this is how the vocal sounds like now.
We're children of God. This is.
You see, by removing all these sharp frequencies, you are shaping your vocal, you are shaping the tone of your vocal into a vocal that is silky and warm, professional vocal. And then from 2K you have 3987.3 hertz, and this is how this frequency sounds like. Let me take it higher.
We're children of.
It's very sharp, and we are looking for seeing that we are looking for a warm vocal, we have to cut down this frequency. So I did a cut down of this frequency to -5.10 dB, all right, so that the vocal can sound like this.
We're children of God. This is wherever we go. We shine.
Getting rid of all the sharp frequencies, and then from here I had to jump all the way to 9107.7 hertz, and this is how the frequency sounds like. This one, it's a little bit of it's a mixture of highs and a little bit high toned frequency in between. So let me just raise it up. You'll be able to get a listen to what I'm talking about.
We're children of God. This is wherever we go.
So there are frequencies. There is a frequency that you might need, especially when you want to open up the vocal, but also in between, inside there is a certain frequency that you may not like. So I had to like cut it down all the way to -3.95 dB. Why? I gave it a little bit of a cut due to certain frequencies that we need from around which are around 10K, somewhere there, 9,000 hertz. Then from there I had to boost it up just a little bit to open up the vocal due to cutting the high frequencies or high tone frequencies. Some of that, sometimes the vocal darks in the background a little bit, becomes a little bit darker. So now to open up the vocal so that the vocal should not sound darker, you come around 18,617 and raise it up all the way to positive 9.39. It's not gonna affect your vocal, it's just gonna open up your vocal. Now without this, let me turn it off.
We're children of God, this is.
With it raised up,
We're children of God, this is where wherever we go, we shine, shine.
so you realize that this, when you raise this up and open up the vocal, it starts working together with the instrument, or it fits with the instrument, and also the hats, and just overall the instrumental works together or starts playing together with the vocal. And that's how you do it. So once you are done with this, most of the parts cannot be done again. So to help this EQ, you just have to throw in another EQ just down or below the main EQ. You throw in another EQ that you will use to just cut around 2238, this frequency right here. Just this is gonna really help your vocal to like stand out. Let me play this.
We're children.
So to help the harshness, to reduce it even a little bit more, you just cut around 2238.
We're children of God, this is where wherever we go, we shine.
And this is basically what this EQ is doing, just that. Then now in Virtual Mix Rack, I have another EQ, more like a third EQ, to open up the vocal even more, and I am using FGS EQ from Slate Digital. I have opened it up just a little bit. I've given it a 2 dB, opened it up a little bit. This is the one, the high frequency.
We're children of God.
And then I have cut down just a little bit of those high mids, just a little bit. Those ones which are a little bit sharp, I have cut down a little bit, given it negative 3.15 dB. And then around the mids also, I have boosted it up just a little bit. The low mids, I have boosted them up just a little bit in order to give the vocal that punchy, that punch, and also that power. And then from here, I have also boosted up the lows, given a 2 dB, just a slight boosting of the lows, which is around 2 dB, is really doing a lot to give your vocal that can we say bass or low frequency or low end to the vocal, so that the vocal can really sound silky and warm and also professional, especially when you want to achieve a warm sound. Boosting up the lows really helps your vocal to sound professional, to sound warm. Remember, the warmth comes from the lower frequencies and the mids as well. So whenever you want to achieve that sound, just boost it up the way I have done, and then take this bell all the way to 30 hertz. Basically, this is what I have done to achieve this warm, silky, professional vocal. Now I'm gonna turn off this EQ, then I'm gonna turn off this EQ as well, and our third EQ. And now take a listen to how the vocal sounds like.
We're children of God, this is wherever we go.
The vocal is sharp, everything is scattered all over. The frequencies are not all together, like temped up or controlled. Now I'm gonna turn on this EQ, then I'm gonna turn on our main EQ, and then our other EQ that helped the main EQ, and this is how the vocal sounds like now.
We're children of God, this is wherever we go, we shine, shine, we shine as children of God.
Very beautiful, right? So you can use an EQ just to make your vocal sound silky, warm, and professional. So the secret is using a bunch of EQs. You have to use them in a professional way. Do not overcut. Each EQ must support the other EQ, just like the way I have done it. This EQ is supporting this EQ, and this EQ is supporting this EQ. So do not overuse one EQ. Use 3 EQs that are going to support each other, and in that way you will achieve silky, warm, professional vocals. And of course, if you want to know everything about all these things that I did, check out the video that I did on how to mix top quality vocals in 2022. So I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm out.